Come,
join,
arise,
and shine.
Wish you all the best.
FX Polytechnic College, Tharuvai, Tirunelveli, 8 km from New Bus Stand.
To all, today's webinar will be conducted by Science and Humanities Department of Polytechnic College, Tharuvai. Today's topic will be intellectual property rights for today's technology. It will be presented by Dr. Amira Sergil. First of all, I welcome all the faculties, all the students in our colleges, and various industries. It's my great privilege to welcome our resource person, Dr. Amira Sergil, PhD. She is working as an assistant professor at Satyabama University. I am very proud to introduce our resource person. She did her BSc in Sarataka College, Tirunelveli, MSc in Queen's Mary College, Chennai, and MPhil in Madras Christian College, and PhD in VIT, Bello. She had a 4 years experience in Vailtech Engineering College, Shavadi, and 4 years experience in Vellore Institute of Technology, and now she is working as assistant professor in Satyabama University, Chennai. She had some training in IPR also. She published international journals, nearly 6 international journals. So now I hand over the session to our resource person. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. Amarda Shergill. I have completed my PhD in VIT University, Velu. I am basically from physics department. I have done my research in crystal growth. Now I am working in Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology as an assistant professor. Our Indian government is giving more awareness on intellectual property. Intellectual property rights is a very good platform where our country is lagging comparing to developed countries. So there is a lot of initiatives taken by Indian government to boost our IPR into a little higher than the already availing area. So one of the schemes they are giving is for women scientists. So they are selecting across the country about 200 women scientists every year, and through interview entrance exam they are funding through Department of Science and Technology. That scheme is called as Kiran IPR program. So through that Kiran IPR program, the selected women scientists will be given orientation of 1 month in IIT Delhi, followed by 11 months hands-on training in any one of the IP firm in the near region. So I have also selected by the DST for the Kiran IPR program in 2018, and I have completed 1 year of training in that patent field. So I am interested to give a talk on intellectual property rights for today's technology. Apart from that, there is a patent agent exam conducted every once in 2 years for by our Indian government to become patent attorneys. So that patent agent exam has also I have got the privilege to clear in the first attempt in 2018. It has been conducted and the result has been published in 2019 February. So I have cleared the patent agent and become patent attorney. So we people are ready to help those who are interested in patenting just by giving patenting procedures. Also, we are interested in helping drafting the patent, and we are ready to help in patent filing and even the claim language. So we can see intellectual property rights in light detail. Also, how does it help in today's technology, and how do we drive the near future. Hi everyone. Hope all of you are safe and healthy during this pandemic period. Now we'll see intellectual property rights for today's technology. Intellectual property rights for today's technology we are going to see in detail. Okay, so what is today's technology? Why we are concentrating on today's technology? Then what is the past? What is the future? About the future, we'll discuss. Now we'll see a small glimpse of the past. Just you take 30, 40 years back, only you take a small sector of communication. If you want to connect to a person, if you want to talk to a person, even if you have a telephone in your house, and if the person to whom you want to connect, though they have a telephone at their house, but you cannot directly contact them, this actually they have to call, they can call through a telephone exchange. So you have to give the details, wait for the queue, and it may take 2 or 3 days. Then as the queue proceeds, you will be called for, and then only through the third person, that is through the telephone exchange, you will be connected to the person to whom you want to connect. This was the technology before 30, 40 years back. Then within the country you can connect directly, but if you want to connect to another country, say Singapore, then only through this way you can connect. But you just think of today's technology, you can't even imagine that everyone is getting connected instantaneously. You can connect through Google Meet, through Zoom meetings, and even we are at home during this pandemic period, we are able to see one to one, face to face through Skype, chat, video call, conference call. So many things are possible. So you can't compare yesterday's, that is past, and today's technology. A vast changes happening. So now, intellectual property rights play a very drastic role in today's technology. Why? What is intellectual? It is nothing but creative human activity. So, a creative human activity, and what is right? It is a special form of ownership. Okay, so this ownership has to be protected so that you can do more innovation, and moreover it will give you prosperity. Okay, so I'm Amrita Shakil. I'm basically from physics department, but we'll see what is intellectual property rights, and we'll connect it to need for today's technology and how it can be to the futuristic India. Okay, yes. Then, as I said, what is intellectual property? It is something produced using human intellect which has commercial value. And it is a term referring to a brand, invention, design, or any kind of creation which a person or business has legal rights over it. Almost nowadays, all businesses own some form of IP, which could be the asset for their business. Okay, so everyone needs intellectual property. Every human brain has its own intellect, but it has to be properly maintained so that it can be used as an asset for their business. Okay, that is intellectual property. Then what is intellectual right? There is a fine difference between intellectual property and intellectual property right. So we should not be get confused with it. I have taken few examples such that it will give a clear idea about it. So intellectual property is a property, that is the idea which you have, and if you take intellectual property right, it is the right vested in the asset and not the asset actually itself. So an idea, invention, it is an intellectual property. But if you are registering it as a patent, it belongs to intellectual property right. Likewise, a customer price list, it is an invention property or intellectual property. But if you take it as a right of confidentiality, it belongs to intellectual property right. A secret protection method, it is an intellectual property. But if you make it as a trade secret and if you register it, it belongs to intellectual property right. A particular way of representation, intellectual property. But if you have registered as a copyright, if you have registered as a design, then it belongs to intellectual property right. Likewise, a brand or trademark, it is a property, but if you register, it belongs to intellectual property right. So you can find the fine difference between intellectual property and intellectual property right. That is, if you have a knowledge, if you have an invention, if you have a particular design, or if you have some copyrightable song or film or any material, dramatic material or artistic material, all your intellect is the property of your own. But still, only if you register, if you file, if you patent it, it belongs to intellectual property right. What is the difference between that registering and unregistered? Yes, we'll see. Before that, there are different types of IPR. One is copyright, patent, industrial design, trademark, trade secret, plant varieties, integrated circuits, geographical indications. We'll see one by one. What is copyright? What does it protect? It is able to protect any written document, any literary work, any published work, even it has been already published, but still it is unregistered. Anything can be copyrighted. Now you people are aware about the copyright of songs, cinematic songs, they are getting copyrighted. Any web content can be copyrighted. Any books can be copyrighted. Who can copyright it? Any author, individual author, or even a group of authors, or n number of authors, or it can be published by a publisher, or a book can be copyrighted by a institution or any other people. But it has their own lifetime, meaning that if it is in the name of a single author, until the author life, it is copyright. Apart from that, from the date of its death, it can be copyright protected for 60 more years. Okay, if it is in the name of an institution, then it can be protected from the date of copyright and until 60 years. So this is the validity term of the copyright. After that, it will come to the public domain. Anyone can use it. But still, even books, a small piece of pages, small content, or for the sake of study material, you can use it. You no need to get copyright written document from the person who has copyrighted it. Likewise, it can be used for research and development purposes also. There and all, it does. We are not infringing the copyright protection. Then patents. Patent, it's a big long process for a commercial invention. So any product, any process, any mechanical model, anything can be patented. I'll tell you in detail. It's a little big thing. There are some basic things and all. We'll see little later. Then comes designs. Any drawings, any 2D models, or any 3D drawings, any images can be taken under design protection. Even computer models can be taken under design protection. So camera design or CD player design, computer model design. So any designs can be, aesthetic designs can be protected under designs property, designs right, trademarks. Trademarks are also like a mark, but still it is not only a design, or it can be a sound, it can be any mark, it can be a symbol, single alphabet. Like for example, if you take McDonald, it's having a golden arch. Okay, so if you see the golden arch, you will just think of McDonald's. Or it might be a small sound, or Onida, to horns. Likewise, anything related, it has to distinguish your product from your competitor. That is the only thing. And if you are in a long run, you have already used, it is easy to get the trademark. Only thing is, somebody else mark should not be resembling your mark. That is the only category for excluding the trademark right. Otherwise, your mark will be easily registered. Then geographical indications. It is particular territory of India, not only India, any country. For geographical indication, for example, if a particular material, if a particular product, or if a particular natural agricultural product belong to a particular area, or a particular manufacturing goods belong to that particular territory alone, it can be identified and registered as a geographical indication. For example, Darjeeling tea, Kanjipuram silk saree, Alfonsa mango, Nagpur orange. Recently, Kovilpatti Kadale Muttai, groundnut chickpeas bar has received GI tag. GI is a geographical indication tag in the 2020 this year. So that belongs to that particular region, that particular territory. It has its own value. If I take opposite of it, for example, here Shanti sweets, that is famous. But still, since they didn't do anything related with that, either a trademark or design or something, so many Shanti Sweets has been opened. So these are the rights. Once we claim it, if we don't claim it, we cannot infringe others. Plant varieties. So if a particular plant breed has to be protected, it comes under the plant varieties. The same thing is it has to be stable for any number of times it has to be produced. So it is for the production of effective system of plant varieties and right of farmers and plant breed. Then comes integrated circuits. It is specially to protect layout design of a semiconductor integrated circuit. Trade secret. It is to protect information relating to trade. So anything, if you want to make it secret, then you can register it as a trade secret. So the owner of the information alone will be knowing. It is uh, it is none. For example, I'll take you example, Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola, if you take the process of preparing Coca-Cola is still a secret. So many years, only 2% belong to the Coca-Cola process. They are only the known person. Others, they are not aware of the process, how to prepare it. So apart from that, KFC. So the herbs and spices, what is used for the KFC chicken, and that is maintained as a trade secret. Intellectual property, registered or unregistered. So with unregistered IP, the patent alone cannot be maintained as an unregistered IP. Otherwise, copyright, design rights, trademarks, everything you can keep it as unregistered IP unless you cannot claim or you cannot legally take action if somebody else is using making use of it, or they are using your own design or trademark and they are utilizing it for their product. Okay, so with unregistered IP you automatically have legal rights, but still if anybody is infringing on it, you cannot take action over it. But with a registered IP, you only thing is you have to apply to an authority. For example, in India, we have to apply through Intellectual Property Office, and then our rights are getting recognized. Once our rights are getting recognized, we can get uh, somebody else cannot exploit our creation. That is the main thing. So registered forms of IP include patents, trademarks, registered design rights, even copyright is also registerable. So the main thing is if you do not register, others are free to exploit your creations. So better to register as early as possible. Whom to approach for filing or registering? So any person or any applicant, any Indian can apply directly. They can apply, file or register directly through the proper procedure through Indian Patent Office. So it can be done electronically or it can even done by hard copy in person. But if you are going electronical registration or filing, then there is a slight fees reduction in the system. But if you take the patent or trademark or copyright or design, you have to search whether any prior art is there. Already, whether we are infringing somebody else creations, or we are with if trademark or design is there, whether it is having any resemblance. So for that, we have to go for prior art search. There are so many search tools are available. Even Google patents are there where you can search, or IP websites are there. Indian IP office website is there, European office website is there, USPTO, WIPO is there. Anywhere we can search electronically and find. And moreover, if you go for patent writing, drafting, we call it as drafting a patent. So drafting a patent require a technical skill. Both technical skill and legal skill is required. So the we have for claim drafting, claim is what we are going to claim. That claim language require legal skills. So what is we may not be, the applicant may not be that much highly potential or may not be able to write claim drafting, everything in a such a high demand language. So there are people they are ready to help us. So for trademark, we have to go to a lawyer or litigator for registering a trademark. For patent, patent attorneys are there, patent agents are there. Even patent attorneys and patent agents can help us in doing copyright and design registration. Now comes basic conditions for patent. So patent is a very well written document which which is an asset which can be sold or which can be used or which can be given partly to somebody else. They can use like exactly like our asset. So it requires some necessary conditions for filing a patent. So once the patent is getting granted, then it is our own asset. So for filing itself, we need some necessary conditions to be satisfied. There are three very basic conditions. One is novelty. So the kind of the invention, what we have in our mind, the intellectual mind, what we are going to present in the patent filing should have a new and novelty nature. So that new characteristic, which is not known in the body of existing knowledge in its technical field, comes under novelty. So for fulfilling the novelty criteria, first we have to know a prior art search. As I have already discussed, for prior art search, we have to do a thorough search whether it is already available. Likewise, then it should have an inventive step or non-obviousness. Non-obviousness or inventive step is nothing but it should not be deduced by a person having ordinary skill in the relevant technical field. So, for understanding this, a clear example we can take. A pencil is there and an eraser is there. If I am coming with a novel idea, I am saying it is a novel new idea, I am going to patent it. What is it? A pencil with an eraser in it. So already pencil is known, already eraser is known. I am just merging both the things and it is excluding the inventive step. That pencil with the eraser cannot be patented since it is already in the public domain. So just a step forward cannot be patented. So this is exploiting inventive step. So it should have an inventive step which cannot be deduced by a person who is having ordinary skill in the relevant technical field. Okay, understood. Next is industrial applicability. So whatever may be the invention, whatever may be the innovation we are going to patent it should be used, should be capable of being used. Industrially, it should be used by any person. That is, it should be it should be again and again reproduced n number of times by given by the same method of procedure adopted in the or given in the patent file. Apart from that, it should solve the purpose for which it has been manufactured. So a normal theoretical phenomenon cannot be patented. So first, it should have a new and novel idea. The invention point has to be having a novel and new idea which is not already in the prior art, and it should have an inventive step, and third one is it should be industrially applicable. Then also we have a section 3 in the Patents Act which states clearly about the non-patentable items. So there are list of non-patentable items which cannot be patented. So the subject matter which we are going to patent should be comes under patentable under the Law of Patents Act. Apart from that, whatever we have disclosed in the patent application or patent filing, the invention disclosed in the application should be having the best manner which is sufficiently clear and completely enable a third person to do it once again. That is, it should be able to replicate the same procedure. So it can be a product or it can be a process, but it should give the clear knowledge about the invention in the patent filing. These are the basic and necessary conditions of any patent. As we discussed, there are non-patentable items. So, if an invention cannot be patented, then a discovery, if it is a simple discovery, if it is a mere scientific theory, or if it is a mathematical model, or if it is an aesthetic creation, aesthetic creation or aesthetic design can be comes under design right, but it cannot be patentable. Likewise, a scheme or a rule or a method of performing a mental act or a playing a game or doing business or a computer program. These are the things we cannot patent. And or information, just a presentation of information or anything contrary to public order or morality cannot be patented. Anything related with atomic energy cannot be patented in our country. And even if it is slightly related, we have to get the permission from the DAE, Department of Atomic Energy, to submit for the patent itself. Then a procedure of surgical or therapeutic treatment or diagnosis for procedure, either for a human or for animals, cannot be patented. So medical treating procedures cannot be patented, but still, if you invent a small machine or equipment which is comes under used for medical treatment, that can be patented. So any machine, any process can be patented, but procedure for treatment cannot be patented under the act. Now, what are the eligibility criteria to be a patent agent? So a person, if he want to this if a person who want to become a patent agent, who is interested in intellectual property, he wants to do the job of intellectual property rights, he want to do his or her career under intellectual property right, he should become a patent agent, he or she. So there are some small steps we have to go through. First one is he should be a citizen of India, completed his 21 years of age. Then either a science degree or an engineering technical degree he should have. He may be a lawyer or he may not be a lawyer, but still either a science degree or an engineering degree, technical degree he should have. And even final year students can also apply for the patent agent exam. So last 2018 they have conducted patent agent exam. Mostly every 2 years, once in 2 years, in Indian government is conducting patent agent exam. In 2018 they have conducted. Now it was scheduled to be conducted on 26th June this 2020, but because of this pandemic period it was postponed. They will intimate, but still, if you write the patent agent exam, if you are in the final year student, then as soon as the exam results are declared, patent agent exam results are declared, you have to submit your mark that you have completed your degree within 2 months of time. So this is the procedure for patent agent exam. Once you file and apply for the patent agent exam, and if you clear the exam, patent agent exam, you have theory as well as you have viva. It's a 5-hour exam. Then if you clear the viva voice, then you have to pay a prescribed fee and then you can become a patent agent. So if you want to know further more details about this patent agent exam, what are the eligibility criteria, then what are the syllabus you have to go through, what is the act, all these things, you can go and search in the website ipindia.nic.in. So this is our Indian IP website where you can get all the details about this, not only about patent, trademark, copyrights, all the types of IP you can see there. So if you are interested in making your career in patent agent, you can very well go as soon as you complete your 21 years of age and you have to clear the patent agent exam. This once in 2 years it will be conducted and you can become a patent agent. You can do it individually or as you work at home. You can sit at home. You can do all the works using a laptop and online, or you can join any law firm. IP firms are there. You can join any IP firm. You can join as a patent attorney or patent associate. You can draft all the things. You can do it. So this is a open up job. Then technology. So IP role. What are the technology areas IP has role in it? That is intellectual property, mechanical, biotechnology, food sector, biotechnology, and pharma. Recently, they have joined. For that, it was only mechanical, electronics, and chemical. Now, every technology, if you take mechanical, all the machines, machine parts, machine designs can be patented. Any designs can be registered under design right. Then pharma, the full pharma industry, even a small tablet, the full regulations they are registering in patent. Biotechnology, then chemical technology, electronics, layout, design. Apart from that, all the electronic gadgets, you know about Apple, Samsung, patent war, what has happened for infringement. Apart from that, food sector is also a big business, and there also IP plays a very very big role. That production of chips, that wedges, that frequency, everything comes under IP. So in software programs can be registered. So in every technology, if you take, as soon as they enter the market, they try to get as maximum as possible patents or designs, or they will register the trademarks, so that they can compete their competitors. And also, if they have more number of IPs, it is just like a asset to their business. Now, need of IPR in today's technology. Now we have seen today's technology. Then apart from that, we have seen IP, IPR, what is the IPR, and what are the classifications, how to do it, all the things. Now we merge both the things. Why we need IPR? What does it play the role in today's technology? So as we see, necessity is the mother of invention. So if there is a competition, and for example, previously just 10 years back, if you see, we will encourage students of college final years, either it is engineering or science or PhD students, anybody, we will encourage them to publish their work in the journal. Why? That is a necessity. We are showing the world that we are doing something new, innovative. So once our paper or once our work is getting published, then it is a quite reputation, and also it is a recognition that we have done something new. Now people have started doing it patent. So it encourages innovation. So we are doing a prior art search. Oh, this is up to this level, people have innovated. So I am going this further more step. So the need of IPR in today's technology encourages the young minds to innovate. So also it is giving a legal protection. So once they innovate, it is also showing a right, and their creation is getting protection. By then, if somebody else is also going, they can infringe on it. So the first thing is it encourages innovation. Second is economic growth. So the promotion and protection of intellectual property spurs economic growth, creates new job and industries, and enhances the quality and enjoyment of life. So as it innovates, it is also giving economic growth. Then third one is it is safeguarding the rights of creators. So once you are keep creating, it is getting safeguard. So it is required to safeguard creators and the producers of their intellectual commodity, goods and services by granting them certain time limited rights. Patent for 20 years of production. Control the use method. After the 20 years of production, the patent comes to the public domain. It is also facilitate in the form of foreign direct investment, direct ventures and licensing. So technology, transferring technology means if you have a small innovation in mind, but you don't have a proper wealthy, you are not properly wealthy to keep it as an industrial application, then what you can do, there are people to invest in it. So technology transferring. So when you transfer the technology, they are getting it and they are using it. Actually you are selling and they are using, so you are also getting the benefit of it, and also they are also growing. So it is technology transfer. It is also a joint venture. Now, what is India doing? national IPR policy comes into adopted in May 2016. So after that, after the May 2016, due to this IPR policies, there is a few vast development in the nation. So the clarion call is Creative India and Innovative India. So after that, there is a vast number of changes in the IPR regime to increase the efficiency, and they are giving more awareness programs, and also even at the school level, they are giving awareness program even through satellite communication, and R&D activities are focused mostly, and apart from that, it has reflected in the global innovation index. So before 2015, if you see, our India was in the 81st rank in the global GAI ranking, global innovation index. It was in the 81st rank. But after this IPR policy in 2016, if you see 2019 ranking, now we have come forwarded to 52nd ranking. So over the years, there is a vast reflection in the improvement due to this IPR policy. This is taking many steps to strengthen the IPR policy, appellate tribunal, then e-governance. Apart from that, all the IP offices have become electronically. Previously, you have for patent, you have to go for an office, for copyright, for design. Now everything becomes unique, and everything can be done transparent in a single window. So all these things are done after the IP policy, which is reflecting a good outcome. So now my view on IPR. So as I said, necessity is the mother of invention. Since young minds are having more innovations, they are very bright. So nowadays, today it is the faster world. The world is getting smarter. So comparing to previous century, everything whatever we are using is becoming smarter. So we are require more invention. Some 15 years back, if we see, people try to buy the things, the competition is only on price of the product. So this is costly, this is little low costly, so we can go for this object. Now what happened nowadays, within 5 years, almost all the products are having same price. So people started thinking, comparing the quality of the product. Nowadays, if you see, at present scenario, even the quality of the product is getting matching. So now people go for design. So same mobile, same cost, same quality, but the design makes difference. So what happened? People are going, more inventions are required. Need of the hour is more of the inventions and more of the innovations. For example, in this pandemic period itself, if we take, people started using Google Meet and Zoom meeting. Then in Zoom meeting, what happened? You can connect only 300 people. That is last month. Now what happened in this month? Now you can connect even up to 1,000 people. How happens? Inventions, innovations. Likewise, R&D work is happening. So if you keep doing all the things, then some reputation we require. If you are able to protect it, if you have a right over it, then you will be very happy and you will be more motivated to do more research, more innovations. So you are also getting protected. So because of this, because of this IPR, inventions are going more and more nowadays. Even a single piece of, for example, if you take camera, it has copyright protection, then design protection, then it mechanism can be patented. So for a single image, for a single product, you can go for all types of IP even. So IPR is a very big boom. And nowadays, even school students are getting aware of the IPR. Then apart from that, I have some invention in mind. I have some innovations. I have some ideas. I have some mechanism to work on. But I don't have amount. Don't have some boost up to go forward. So in such condition, incubator centers are there. So what do? I try to write myself, or I'll go and apply through a patent attorney. I patent my innovation. Then what happened with my patent? I will go to the incubator center. So all IITs have incubator center. Apart from that, more number of institutions have incubator center. So if a final year student comes with a product, not product, come with a invention idea, it can be patented. Yes, now UGC has declared every institution should have a patent cell. So that through the patent cell, they will apply for the patent. Then through the incubator center, that small peck of knowledge, small peck of invention will become a very big industry. So they are working on it. So this incubator centers only rely on the IPR knowledge. So what happened? The students' knowledge along with the IP cell, along with the incubator center, it will become a very big tree like. Okay. Apart from that, cloud funding is there. So if an invention is there, if an IP with a IP, if you go and knock some company which are having cloud funding, they are ready to help. Then apart from that, there are so many sectors. There was DRDC, so many sectors are that they are also ready to help. So the main thing is if you apply for patenting, then if you have patent at just if you apply and if it is published in the website, then they are ready to help you. So my view on IPR is it is going to drive a very big platform in the future. So we have compared the past, we have seen present, and we are seeing the future also. So two things I want to say is if you have invention in mind, you can go for patenting. If you have designs or copyright can be registered, yes, do. No, I'm not interested in that. If you are interested in taking IPR as a career, then you can clear the patent agent exam, then you can become a patent attorney. Then you can help the young minds to come up with good ideas with patent drafting and so on. So we learn from the past and we can create the future. Best of luck.
Thank you, madam, for your presentations. It's very much useful for us. We learned a lot from your presentation. Thanks for your timing and your presentations. And also we thank our sponsor, Mr. D.P. Rufus, for giving the opportunity to present this webinar. And I also thank for the participants from various colleges and also from the companies, students and staffs. We really thank you for all for attending this webinar. Thank you very much.